Hi guys, welcome back to the Shannon Show podcast. Hello if you're new. So today's podcast is going to be a review of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 12 Episode 9. So last week we lost a real one, we lost Jan. After her brutal robbing, I still don't think she should have been in the bottom. Obviously she was lip syncing against Widow. I think that was the right decision there. I think Widow did win that lip sync. And she's gone. So all the girls are pretty upset. Obviously, Jan was a ball of light in that house, and everyone was saying how she cherished each day and how she was so grateful for being here. And yeah, it's just sad, man. I really did my girl Jan dirty. But anyway, let's get into the episode. So, Widow is saying it's a shame that Jan has gone, but she had to send her home and that she's going to continue to send bitches home. Now at this point I will say I felt like what she was saying was valid, because from what I had seen from her up until that point, I thought she definitely was a certified lip sync assassin. But what did you guys think? Up until that point, do you feel like Widow was a bit too confident, or do you feel like at that point you believed that she was a lip sync assassin? Obviously, Heidi won. Everybody congratulates her. She's obviously very happy that she's got, a £5,000. She's got a $5,000 check, and we know she definitely needs it. But there is no shade this week. Everybody kind of accepts Heidi's win. I was expecting Jackie to pipe up or Jada to pipe up and say, well, I thought that I should have won, because I personally think Jada should have won the challenge last week, and if not Jada, then Jackie. But they decided to keep it stush. Then one of the girls, I don't know who it was, who Shady asked, decided they wanted to ask Gigi how she was feeling, because obviously she did very bad last week. She wasn't in the bottom 3, but she was bottom 4. And she basically says that she feels like shit and how she feels like a 1 out of 10. And I think she definitely knows that she should have been in the bottom. In my pro podcast, I thought that she should have been in the bottom. I think she was the next worst after Widow. I think she knows that too. I feel like she's in that bad mood when you can't appreciate that the judges have saved you despite you doing a shitty job. But I definitely understand what mood she's in, especially after coming off of that high of winning 3 challenges. Maybe Widow's curse is working. So in this episode, apparently, I'm not 100% sure because I've checked her Instagram and her name is still the same. Heidi has decided to change her name to Heidi Hydrates. So I'm thinking, I really hope that she hasn't let Ru bully her into changing her name. I just feel like she should stand firm in hiding in the closet. Well, what do you guys think? Do you think like Heidi Hydrates is better, or do you prefer hiding in closet? I prefer hiding in closet. Heidi Hydrates, I don't know. I think maybe because I'm used to hiding in closet. But I think Heidi Hydrates, she should just go with Heidi, I think, if anything. Then at the beginning of the episode, we also see Pervy Pie piping up and shades Widow, and basically says that even though that she has won 1 challenge, she's been flatlining. That was pretty cheeky coming from Pervy Pie, considering I feel like that's what's been happening to Pervy Pie. Obviously, when her disqualification got announced, people were just assuming that she had gotten very far in the competition. And it is, the halfway point. But in terms of Pervy Pie's performance, the bits that we have seen from her, she looks like somebody who is coasting and somebody whose quality of drag seems to go down with every episode. So I think it was definitely cheeky for her to call out Widow. Now, in terms of the Pervy Pie edit, I always do an update every week. She's all up in this episode like she's a normal contestant this week. Obviously, last week she was kind of like here and there. And again, I'm not really sure what is going on with these producers. Discombobulating in terms of trying to grasp where the producers stand with Pervy Pie, because a lot of this episode we could have done without her, to be honest. Then we have our first mini challenge, which is the cat drag mini skit challenge. And in terms of my favorite skits, I'd probably say Crystal. I feel like Crystal is a bit of a weird cat anyway, so it was fun to see her as Crystal the weird cat. And then I'd say Jackie. Jackie's skit was absolutely perfect. I'm considering the little amount of time that they had to prepare, it was like it was something that she had miraculously had. It seemed like she had rehearsed that for days, let alone just come up with that on the spot. So Jackie was definitely my favorite skit. And then Jada as the sexy cat. Jada's always bringing the sexiness, the body. Loved it. But yeah, my winner for the mini challenge was Jackie, and Rue agreed with me, so Jackie was named the winner of the mini challenge. Then Rue lets us know what the main challenge is, and it's a political acting challenge for Drag President 2020. You know, every once in a while they have a little political themed acting / improv challenge. And then Raven comes in as a guest, and she is still looking good, still looking snatched. She looks just as good as she was on her season, and she was cracking a lot of jokes. She was hilarious. I'd love to see her come back for another season. So Rue and Raven go around the workroom, and they first end up with Heidi. And Heidi is cracking me up this week because she's stealing ideas again. Basically, Raven and Rue are feeding her these ideas, and she's like, "Can I steal that again?" Iconic, classic. You know, you got to do what you got to do. You got to work with the material. Then they go to Gigi, who kind of hints to the fact that she's not really political engaged, kind of fitting into the whole, you know, Generation Z, young people stereotype of, you know, people who aren't engaged with politics and stuff. Then they go to Widow, and Raven basically calls out Widow for wearing short heels, and Widow basically says she wears short heels because just in case she'll be up for lip syncing, so, you know, so she stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And Raven was just like, that's a bad mentality to have, to be preparing yourself for a lip sync. And I was just thinking, well, at least Widow knows, you know. And in the workroom, she's kind of alluding to the fact that she was struggling to find points to make funny. So a little bit of foreshadowing there. Then they go to Jackie. And what I found really cheeky is that Rue had the cheek to ask Jackie, had the cheek to tell Jackie that she's surprised that she hasn't won a maxi challenge. And I was just like, no shit, RuPaul, you're the fucking judge who makes the decisions. So I just thought it was hella cheeky because I think there has been like at least 2 occasions in this season where Jackie should have won, in my opinion. So I just think it's very cheeky for Rue to come at her like that, like it's her fault. Then we see them go to Crystal, and Crystal is struggling to come up with funny ideas. And I never really know with Crystal, because sometimes she surprises you and she does really good, and then sometimes she's just rubbish. So I wasn't really sure about Crystal. As the girls are getting ready for the main challenge, they're getting hyped. Widow seems to have had some things materialize. She says that she thinks that things are going to go well, but then she's kind of like, well, when I say things go well, they usually go bad, but this time I feel like it's going to go well. Jackie's hyping herself up. She's kind of like, you know, the material that I've written is looking like I'm going to be a winner. And the fact that they edited them both together back to back, basically hyping themselves up, was very funny. And the workroom starts to get a bit more serious. They start to talk about politics. And Gigi says that she doesn't watch the news because she gets anxiety from it and she starts getting worried about it. So that's why she doesn't really engage with the news. And you know what? I can definitely understand. And that's one of the reasons why I stopped keeping up with 24-hour news, newspapers, because I just found them so depressing in terms of how I keep up with my news. Literally, I just go on Twitter and, you know, keep up with the key news bulletins, because I feel like on Twitter it filters out the most important news, so you don't have to just go through articles and articles of depression as well. And obviously I guess there's some privilege in doing that, because living my life, most of the time I don't have to think about the things going on around me. But yeah, I can definitely understand why, in terms of politics and how I feel about politics in the UK, I feel like I am politically engaged, but I feel like it's definitely different for me because I'm like a lifetime Labour supporter. So I doubt I'm ever going to vote anything other than that party every single time. So for me, it's just kind of like me applying for my card to vote. So I've never really felt like I wasn't politically engaged, even though I don't necessarily keep up with debates and stuff, because I know who I'm going to vote for. Of course, I always look at pamphlets and stuff just to brush up on, you know, what they are offering, their manifestos. But in terms of watching every single debate and stuff, I personally don't think that it is necessary if you are already pretty sure who you're going to vote for. But yeah, what do you guys think? I'd be particularly interested to hear from young people who are like 24 and under. Do you feel like you are active enough in voting? Do you feel like young people in general are active in voting? Because I feel like the young people around me, like at the very least, do go out to vote. We definitely do get a bad rep. But yeah, but I'd be interested to hear what you think. And also everybody else, regardless of your age. Do you feel like young people are not as engaged in politics as they should be in general? So Crystal reveals that her parents are Trump supporters, and she finds it very difficult because she loves her parents and generally she has a pretty good relationship with them. Obviously, in the past episode, she says that they have accepted her sexuality, they've accepted her being a drag queen, and there's never really been any problems with that. Like they actively support her. But then on the other hand, they're Trump supporters. So, you know, she says that most of the time they kind of just don't really talk about their political views. But, you know, every once in a while they'll have a little argument about it. And I feel like I can relate to it on some level. In terms of my family, we all have the same political views, but there is different strong views that we disagree on, that we come to blows with. And I just kind of feel like that I worry will become big issues later on down the line. So yeah, I can definitely relate to that on some level. Thank God my parents. But yeah, thank God my parents are not Trump supporters. And if you're a conservative, that was full shade. So, of course, with them on the topic of politics, it wouldn't be right for them not to have Jackie on screen. And Jackie, again, talks about the travel ban and goes in deeper to say it has affected her family to a great extent because his mother is in poor health and they were hoping to bring over her sister from Iran to help take care of her, but they can't because of the travel ban. Widow also says that because, you know, living in Trump's America, she finds it uncomfortable to go to certain areas, especially with, you know, white supremacy and hate crimes on the rise in America. And Jada basically says, you know, we all need to come together. We need to get him out the house. And, you know, I'm here for the message. Will the conservative LGBT plus members be here for the message, though? Then we're taken to the main stage, and the guest judges this week is Rachel Bloom, not really familiar with her, and Jeff Goldblum. I'm familiar with him, yes. Then we see them have the live debate, and overall, I didn't really find it as entertaining as I hoped. I feel like there was definitely some hints of entertainment here and there, but I think overall it was a bit lackluster. I think the tops were definitely Crystal, and I actually thought Widow, because she kind of felt like the only person who had created a specific character. She at least had a realised character that she committed to, and she did say, you know, some funny, some odd things here and there. So I thought Widow would have been in the tops, or at least safe, in my opinion. And Crystal, I feel like Crystal, for me, was the winner. Crystal was very fun. First time where I've seen more of a character than just Crystal. She's somebody who I would vote, and she's a drag queen president that I would vote for. So I thought, personally, Crystal was the clear winner of this challenge. In terms of the bottom, I actually thought Jada, because I wasn't sure what she was actually selling, what her platform was. She looked great, but I wasn't really sure what she was selling. I thought there was bits of her that were funny, like when she said, look over there, I thought that was funny. But after like the second or the third time, I was just like, okay, this isn't funny anymore. And again, I'm not really sure what your actual angle is. And because she was so prominent, it kind of made me notice it more. So I actually think Jada should have been in the bottom. Then Pervy Pie, I'm not really sure what she was doing. And then she was just very mediocre, very plain. And then like out of nowhere, she just started going, I was just like, what the fuck are you doing, bitch? I just feel like she could feel like everybody else was sucking up the attention, so she thought, let me just do this creepy giggle to draw some attention to me. It was just very strange. And then Gigi, because her character was just not funny at all. I'm not sure why she decided to try and play a deadpan character again after it just went down so badly last week. She tried to do this, I'm a fashion person, I care about fashion, and that's it, that's my format, that's my angle. But then tried to mix it with a robot, which just was not funny this time. And I was pretty sure that she was going to be lip syncing for her life this week. Then on the runway we had Stars and Stripes theme. And for me, the top outfits this week were Heidi. I really loved her outfit this week. It was so cute. Even the high knees didn't look basic this time. Then Jackie, I loved her outfit. I love the Persian realness. I like how she tries to bring in her Persian culture to everything. And the worst this week, my first worst outfit would have to be Crystal. I thought we were getting somewhere, Crystal, but she's gone back. I feel like this is obviously her aesthetic, but I just don't like it when we see thrifty, discombobulated Crystal. I'm more of a fan of high fashion Crystal. And my second worst outfit was Pervy Pie's outfit. It was pedestrian and it was ill-fitting. The shorts that she was wearing looked like they were diapers. I'm not sure what she was doing there. But yeah, it wasn't a great decision. Then we see the critiques, and Pervy Pie got pretty decent critiques. She was read for, her switching character so suddenly and being repetitive. But the judges were actually being quite nice to her. I think one of the guest judges said something nice about her outfit. And I was just like, yeah, you have poor taste. Then it was Crystal. She had mostly positive critiques, but she does get read for her messy runway. Then we had Heidi. She had positive critiques. Then we had Widow. She had generally positive critiques, but then she was told that her character was not funny and was a bit aggressive and angry at times. But then Widow gets defensive, because I felt like Widow came into this kind of thinking like, okay, I've done this character, I've given them what they wanted. She's ready to receive her positive critiques, and when she doesn't get it, she's just kind of like, oh, for fuck's sake, like, I've literally had enough, like, what do you guys want from me, type of thing. And that's kind of the defensive energy she was giving, and the judges definitely weren't here for it. And when the judges were trying to say, well, look, we're just trying to give you some critique here so you can go back and improve, she just wasn't here for it. And I was just like, Widow, just shut the fuck up, because this is the type of shit that will get your ass put in the bottom, because it's very clear that Widow is not any judge's favorite. So if they can put you in the bottom, that's what they're going to do. So after she was mouthing up to them, I was just like, you know what? Okay, it was a negative critique. Now it's kind of snowballed. And I felt like maybe as punishment, they were going to put her in the bottom, I thought. But yeah, I just don't think it was a smart move for Widow to be so defensive. I think she should have just took it on the chin and say, oh yeah, I definitely get that. I will try better next time. And I think she definitely dug herself a hole, as Rue said. Then it was Jackie next, and they basically read her for the fact that her Canadian act got boring real quick. Now, I feel like it did get boring real quick, but I felt like she at least was consistent enough to be safe, in my opinion. And then obviously her outfit is, Persian inspired. She's wearing a headscarf, starts talking about her Persian heritage, and then Jeff Goldblum pipes up. And Then he asked her if she is religious, basically asking her if she's Muslim, basically. And she says no, but obviously she has close proximity to religion. She probably grew up in a Muslim, I'm assuming she's grown up in a Muslim household. Her parents and most of her family are Muslim. And then that's when I knew something possibly problematic was coming. And I feel like it was a low-key problem. And I feel like it was a bit problematic from Jeff Goldblum asking Jackie what she thought about Islam being phobic. Okay, granted, okay, Jackie is gay. It's come from a Muslim background. And, Islam, and there's no disputing that Islam has homophobic sentiments. But then he says, homophobic and anti-woman. And when he said anti-woman, I was just like, this is sounding very problematic, because yes, obviously Jackie is a drag queen, but one, she's not a woman. Second off, Jackie is in a headscarf right now. And obviously the hot debate in terms of Islam and its oppression of women, there's been a lot of debate with head coverings, with headscarves and head coverings of that nature, of headscarves, niqabs, hijabs, head coverings. And Jackie doesn't really say much about it. And you can tell she's kind of been put on the spot here. But that was definitely problematic from Jeff Goldblum. I think he definitely got a bit too comfortable there. But what do you guys think? Do you feel like he was well within his rights to ask? Or do you feel like it was a little bit problematic? I think Jackie's sentiment is basically, obviously she has issues with Islam. She's grown up with close proximity to it, and, you know, Muslim people, especially in America, are being discriminated against, and they are a prosecuted group of people, and they are a prosecuted group of people. And if you have proximity to that group, then you yourself will probably be discriminated as well. I think that's also a reason why she is so vocal about the Muslim ban. Then it's Gigi's critique, and they said that she's got a good outfit, but they said that she was a bit quiet in the challenge. Then it's Jada, and she has positive critiques. Like, there is not one negative critique for Jada. So it seems like the judges loved her performance, which I was surprised about. And then they have a little skit with Michelle. That was a bit funny, about her saying, you know, who's that girl sitting next to you, to Rue, on the live cast. I love the little skits that they have between Rue and Michelle to spice things up. Then they obviously deliberate, and then the verdict is delivered. Now, in terms of who I thought the winner would be based off the challenge, I thought it was going to be Crystal. I thought Crystal was the clear winner of the challenge. And in terms of who I thought was going to be in the bottom, I thought the two clear bottoms this week were Gigi and Pervy Pie. Now, obviously, they call out the names of the safe people. So they call Pervy, Heidi, and Crystal. And this week, the winner is Jada. Now, as I said, I think Crystal should have won it. I'm very surprised that they gave it to Jada. I definitely think a win for Jada is overdue, though. So I'm not entirely mad about it, but I think Crystal was robbed this week. So the bottom three this week was Gigi, Jackie, and Widow. And this bottom three lineup, I am gagging for. And this bottom three is just very interesting how the tables have turned. Jackie is in the bottom three. Gigi has slipped down from number 4 to number 3. I was just thinking, what's going on, Gigi? Like, you've been proper slacking. Like, literally, like 2 podcasts ago, I was like, Gigi said the bottom is lava, and now she's just letting the lava consume her. So I was thinking, well, who's the lineup going to be? Is it going to be Gigi versus Widow? Is it going to be Gigi versus Jackie? Who's it going to be? And then they saved Gigi, and I was shocked. I was so shocked that they saved Gigi yet again. I just kind of felt like, Gigi, you are actually so lucky that these judges like you, because you're actually getting away with murder at this point. You know, Gigi's telling the judges that she's not going to be in the bottom anymore, and we've all heard that old chestnut. And I really hope so, Gigi, because you're really desecrating your name out here, and I feel like all of the Gigi stands, we want better for you, hon. So you need to step your game up, like, pronto. And automatically, obviously, Widow and Jackie, I'm just like, this is a sticky one still. And I'm just kind of thinking, I feel really bad for Jackie. I don't think she had the best performance, but I don't think she should have been in the bottom. She's already crying. She's getting emotional. And I just want to get up there and hug Jackie. I just feel like Rue is just being unnecessarily cruel this season. And I said, you know, Widow is probably a certified lip sync assassin. I was just thinking, Jackie, you just got to bring it, man. You just got to bring it. And just let the favoritism bring you home. And I'm not going to lie, once I saw Widow and Jackie, I was just thinking, I don't think they're going to let Jackie go home. They are definitely going to do whatever it takes to make sure that Jackie wins this lip sync. And I think they definitely did do that. And I think they definitely did that with the song choice. We've seen Widow do upbeat rap pop. We've seen Widow do soul. But we haven't seen her do pop ballad. And I think pop ballads are her weakness. Obviously, Katie Fireworks, it's an upbeat song, but it's still pretty ballady. And when Widow was performing, she did a solid job, but she was performing like this was a soul song. And the way that she was performing and giving so much soul, it just didn't connect with the type of soul that Katy Perry has, because, you know, blues soul, you know, disco soul and pop soul is on a different level. And Jackie was definitely selling more pop soul. And in the beginning, I was a bit unsure because Jackie was just a bit everywhere. In the beginning, I was like, you better get back up. You better focus, honey. But, you know, halfway in, all eyes are on Jackie. You know, all eyes are on Jackie. She's really feeling this song. When the camera pans on Widow, we don't really care about her. She's just kind of looking a bit mediocre, shrinking in the back. And we know that Jackie has won this. And it was a bit emotional. Jeff Gullum, he was crying. And I can understand. I didn't get to that point where I was crying. But it was a bit emotional because you could tell how much Jackie wanted this. You could tell how much Jackie wanted to stay and fight. So obviously Jackie is saved and Widow is sent home. And yeah, I have mixed feelings about Widow going because, you know, obviously she's emotional. You can tell she has a lot of trauma she still has to get over. You know, I did want her gone. I wanted Jackie to win. You know, when she starts to get emotional, you can just tell, you know, she's talking about the demons in her head, and you can just tell she has a lot of trauma that she's still dealing with in her life. And I really do feel like she does need a therapist. Like, this isn't not even shade. Like, I feel like she really does need a therapist, to really have somebody to talk about, to start to begin to release all of these negative feelings and emotions that she has. Because she's a great performer, she could definitely have a promising career as a drag performer. And, as drag performer. And you know what? She did provide drama. She provided entertainment. And I definitely wish her the best in her career. But it was definitely her time to go. But yeah, did anyone else tear up with this lip sync? Was it just Jeff Goldman? I suspect that some people got a bit emotional with this lip sync. So on Twitter, people are living for Jackie Cox's lip sync, especially in her outfit. People are defending Jeff Goldman for asking those questions.
Are you recording?
Yeah. I'm almost finished. Telling people to calm the fuck down. This person who's tweeting this does not look Muslim, so I just feel like they should know their place. The person who's tweeting this definitely does not look Muslim, so I definitely don't think that it's their place to say that other people who could just the person who said that does not look Muslim, so I'm not really sure if it's their place to say anything. But I definitely think it was a bit problematic. I think it's a bit unnecessary. It's a bit unnecessary, especially. I just think it was a bit. I think it was just a bit unnecessary, especially since when he asked her, "Is she religious?" and she said no. She said no. He should have just left her. He should have just left it at that because the questions put Jackie in an uncomfortable position. People are here for Jackie's political outfit. People are saying that they were crying like Jeff Goldblum. People are here for Jackie representing Persian culture. People are pointing out how they don't understand how Gigi keeps getting lifelines but Jackie doesn't. People are saying that they don't understand how Sherry and Gigi have not seen a lip sync yet. People are saying that the judges were cringing when Jeff Goldblum started asking Jackie Cox them questions. People are saying that there was blatant Islamophobia going on in this episode. People are coming for Gigi for her saying that she's not engaged in politics. I'm not sure. I feel like we should not engage in politics. And I think I'm going to definitely hold back on that because I feel like you can still know who you're going to vote for and be up to date without being engaged in politics. And by that I mean you can still have a good idea of who you're going to vote for without having to watch every single debate or read every single article you read up online or read up online. But maybe but read up online. But I definitely get it if it's a thing where they don't use their platform to get people to vote or vote for progressive policies that will help out the LGBT community. That I can definitely understand the critique of. People are here for Jada Essence's look. I liked her look this episode. I don't know, it was just the shoulders that didn't do it for me. I feel like if the shoulders weren't on that outfit, I think for me it would have been my favourite outfit, but just for me, the shoulders were a bit of a pet peeve for me. People are pointing out Gigi's favouritism with the judges. People are speculating that Jackie Cox was not here for the way that Jeff Goldblum put her on the spot. And yeah, I definitely would be pissed because I hate when I'm put on the spot as well. And it's just like, what was the reason? People found Jeff Goldblum's lack of drag knowledge very funny. People are not here for the way Jeff Goldblum put Jackie Cox on the spot. People found the look over there from Jada in the challenge funny. People are thirsting over Jeff Goldblum. Even though what he said was pretty problematic, he did look very good when he was saying it. So yeah, that's pretty much the rundown on Twitter. Let me know what you thought of this episode and let me know what you thought of this review. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and if you have, don't forget to press that notification bell so you know when the next review is dropping. Till next time guys, bye!